Okay, well, welcome to Nevre Yeodiax DM Prep 2. There were a lot of downs, and one up. there were some ups and downs last session. Um, it's supposed to be hard. It was hard. So last time I did a little bit of this prep here. Dregton delivery. And the ring shadow scene. I used the ring shadow scene. I toned it down a little bit because this was set up for 4 people. There were only 2 during that scene. So I nevertheless what do I want to be in the... Let me adjust this. There we go. Yeah, there were supposed to be 4 people, and there were only 2. So I cut down the number of grus that attacked them from 5 to 2. That turned out somebody survived. So that's better than nothing, right? But the thing about this is they're a day late leaving. Which means that unless they double time, which I doubt they're going to, because there's no reason for them to, they're not going to make it to Dregton in time to prevent it. Thankfully, there's a wick in the party, so the wick is drawn towards action, so drawn towards Dregton. Somebody was looking for work, and Tibdast thought that all the work was either being done or had been lost to death. So he sent them towards Dregton. The one person who asked. See, what else is there that was important that happened, that that was drawing them to Dregton? The wizard probably just wanted to leave the area in general. And then the Zarks just went along with the group, I guess. I was kind of half railroading them, of course. Telling them that they should probably be leaving. Okay, there we go. Okay. And okay. So one of my PCs just responded to a questionnaire that I sent out. In fact, I can just show you the questionnaire because it's in docs. Doo-doo-doo. Probably not age that. So this is the questionnaire. This is what I used for their starting characters too, but yeah. What deities do you worship and how devout are you? So a deity of life and death balance, which would literally be the balance. Is who he said. He's thinking what, more like Balinor? There we go. No, that's not what I'm looking for. You might have just... yeah. I think he meant Balancer instead of Balinor. Okay, and then he wants to defend the weak. So he went to Zentar to search for work to defend the weak. Okay. Technology must benefit, coexist, or give back to nature. It means destroying the environment. It must be stopped. Okay. Going insane. Isolation and confined spaces. Ooh. And then 5 is, he would go with A, the cure. Okay, that makes sense. With the other questions that he answered. Defend the weak, grab the cure. Makes sense. So this is my DM calendar. And they ended on... Actually... No, they're in the right place. They're where they should be to maybe make it on time. They left, well, they left on day 3 instead of on day 2. That might be... No, they're a day behind because they haven't done the night cycle yet. So yeah, they're a day behind on travel. Okay. He's just responding to me telling him what deity that would be. So they're going to be late to Dregton. It's going to be destroyed when they get there, probably. Unless they double time it. Because they ended on the night here. So technically, the hex they're in would be 1 day behind. Because they haven't camped yet. So they're 1 day behind. So they'll arrive at Dregton probably on the 22nd. Yes, a thrid. I can... There, fixed. Third orc triangle. So, I need to prep more than just what I had already. So, Dregton has been attacked. The balance is going to show up just over a week later to tell them, hey, I want you to do this. So, I need to put clues in Dregton that will lead them to the forest. Or to... Like more than one location. Like, the forest is a good place for them to end up. Surrounding villages are a good place for them to end up. They could go back to Zentar, or not Zentar, Rentaz, the city. They're in Zentar, the country. So Rentaz, the city, they could go back there. That one's an easy one. I don't need to prep anything for there that I can do on the spot. The forest, that'll be an interesting one if they choose to go there. I can kind of do that as I go. It's plant creatures once they enter the forest. Not a problem. They want to go elsewhere. Let me bring up a map here. Because I'm doing this without looking at the map. I'm just listing off locations that are coming to mind. D&D... My settings, maps, Nevre, overview, non-hex. Oh, that's taking a little bit to load. There it goes. So they are in Dregton. They could go south. I want them to end up in the ruins if they go south. Or they're not in Dregton, they're heading towards Dregton. That's going to be destroyed when they get there. So they could head south into the ruins. They could head This isn't a complete map anymore, is it? Hex map it is. Might I click that again? I didn't need to. This is... Okay. Hold on. Oh, right. I don't have that visible right now. I need to do that from over here, desktop. Provinces. There we go. So, this province, this is a province. Okay. So they could head south to Claremore, which is an unclaimed province, because this is a ruin here. They could head along the river to Moumount. Moumount. Sorry, I got another message. And then this is... I need both maps because I need to see the names of these places. So, yeah. So this is Traven. It's really on the very edge of that hex, down here. It's on the edge of the forest. But I put it in the forest on the hex map. Which makes sense. It's just right there on the edge. You'd encounter forest creatures if any encounters happen. They could head over here to Bolbadur. I don't know why they would, but they could. They probably don't want a chance going into Ilias because they'd have to go over the mountain pass. There's not really a good mountain pass here. The good one's up here, probably. And, it's probably a good one, like, here where the river is, because you can follow the river part of the way and then cross. I kind of want them to end up in Claremore around level 5 or 6. Because Claremore is where they could set up a stronghold easily because there is a ruined town that they can use. And it's an unclaimed province. Right now it's kind of being looked after by Moumount, but they technically don't have jurisdiction. They're just caretakers right now, though they have taken part of the province away from Claremore. That's why this is such a hard line instead of cutting down kind of like this, like it should. Cutting the forest in half. Kind of what happened over here. There's no town in this province here, so this large city's province of Shalal is taking over slowly Thalias because there is no towns at all, really. Small towns maybe, but the main keep is gone. Maybe over the vestiges of time the people just moved out and the keep just lost all of its power. There's probably a physical keep still in this area, same with Wildegar, and Etordir. They still have physical keeps somewhere in them, but they're not even like ruins. They're just straight up abandoned and nobody remembers where they are. Kind of the same with up here in Thamkos, Zuluk, and Zukror, where there's none on the map because just nobody remembers where the heck they are. And then this ruin here is the Fount of the Gods. It's not a ruined keep or anything. The town that runs Okrex is here. So, I want to prep Newwar, or Newwar, depending on who wants to say it. I think it's pronounced Newwar, because I wrote it, so it's pronounced Newwar. So, let's get a new document here. I'll have to make the map too, but I'm not going to do the map while I'm recording. Alright, so... Newwar Province. title it that. Dregton is destroyed. Armies of the Knights of the Desecrator travel the province, acting as their new law and order. They have no legal jurisdiction. There's a D in that. Okay. Jurisdiction. But Rentaz and Cave have not had time to receive this news. Now before you accept after C. Towns in Newwar. Obviously the Dregton is sacked, but there are at least 4 other towns, so okay, and I just put those letters there so that it would do the numbering correctly before I came up with names of towns. There are 4 towns. Minimum. There's probably more than 4 settlements, but there's 4 towns. So places that have buildings like a store, an inn, that sort of thing. No walls, of course. Dregton was the only place in the area with walls, that's why it was the... I need a drink. It was the capital of the province because it had walls. It was defensible. And this isn't the first time Dregton's been sacked. But this is the first time Dregton's been sacked and then occupied. It's fallen at least once before to an army of... well, not an army. A mass of creatures from the Underdark have sacked Dregton at least once in its history. But they've never been besieged, which is why they lost so easily. Because nobody was preparing for Dregton to need to defend against people. It's always only been attacked by creatures from the Underdark. So that's what it was prepared for, was unintelligent beasts. And that is not what sacked them. They were sacked by knights and Templar. So anti-paladins, basically. But I need 4 towns, and I need 1 lead figure for each town. So the first town, I'm just going to come up with something... Plestron. And then... lead figure... local smith... male... fire... Genasi... named... Craig. With a C. That's on purpose. You gotta get my vitamin C. So, oh, I don't need this map up anymore. Don't need make the folder open anymore. There we go. How about I need the map up. Is the river running through? Pretty sure the river runs through this area. Like, I don't need the map. Immediately needs map. Okay, so that's good. Feel like it. Yeah, that's fine. So, Mestrel's Landing. Lead figure. Local innkeeper. Female human named Mestrel. Surprise, surprise. Stoneton? Why not Stoneton? The figure. Mine overseer. Male dwarf named Stoneson. Goes by Stoneson. That's not his name, that's a nickname. Oh, getting messages here. Okay. So in Nevre, humans have any color of skin. So I was asking my one player who had a human character at the end of the session what color skin they have. And apparently, what was it? I'm thinking Black Star from an anime, but that's not it. It's Simple Star, right? Has neon pink skin. Nice. Hunter Town. I'll also put like descriptions of these in a moment. I'm just doing the main surface level stuff here. So lead figure, probably their town mayor. It's a female. Half elf named Eleonora. Eleonora. Elaine Nora. That's her first name. I need to go fix a link somewhere. So I used to have the deities listed in Doc A, but now they're listed in Doc B. So the handout links to Doc A, and then Doc A links to Doc B. But it would be better for me to just... Okay, go into Doc A. Go to deities in Doc A. After it loads. Go to the link for the list of deities. Go back to the questionnaire. There, updated. Less double linking. I assume that person is also answering the questionnaire. Okay. So Dregton is located in the plains, a couple days southeast, I think. I mean, with provinces. Good. Couple days southeast. No. Southwest. West of Dregton. Mistral's Landing is 1 day north. Located on the river 1 day. No, 2 days east. 2 days east of Dregton. Stoneton. Located in the mountains 3 days east, west Dregton. Huntertown is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Four days. Located in the forest, because there's a tiny little slip of the forest that's in Newwar. 4 days southwest of Dregton. There we go. That'll be useful for when I make the province map. Okay. Stigger. The Pathfinder? Okay. Worships the Pathfinder. Who wants a wife. Doesn't care about technology. Would be broken by what would normally break people, so it takes a bit to break him, basically. He doesn't have any specific points that would be obvious breaking. And if given the choice, he would take an artifact, because power. Or, well, he says social Darwinism, which means social power. Okay. Dregton is sacked and occupied. Nearby towns. Towns. Large towns. Okay. Plot gooks. So plot hooks in Newwar, obviously Dregton has been sacked. And is occupied. Plestrin seems to be cooperating with the occupation a little too much. Maestel's Landing has cut off all access to its port. Stoneson hasn't heard of the occupation and has many able-bodied dwarves and humans. Hunter Town is having problems being attacked by the dark under creatures. So the Underdark is called the Dark Under in the setting. So okay. So those are the ones specifically tied to towns. Here we go. Dregton has been sacked and is occupied by the Desecrator's worshippers. Totes not a cult. The balance will appear to ask the characters to seek out the home base of the occupiers and offers the suggestion to visit Stoneton if they aren't already in a town. In addition to the occupation. Okay. Since the attack was so recent, the PCs may wish to send word to Rentaz for reinforcements. This takes How long does this take? Let me look at this here. That one. This takes 5 days in one direction. So it's a 10-day. It's a 10-day round trip, which is in Nevre. That's a week round trip because a week's 10 days. Or is it a week? No, it's more than a week. A week is a 9-day in Nevre. Oh, so it takes longer than a week for the round trip. That's not good for them. And the next nearest town is Newwar, the nearest power town. So the nearest province capital is Rentaz. The next nearest one would be the one in... That's through the mountains. So the easiest one to get to would be down the river to Moomout. So that'd be, what, Traven? Yeah, Traven would be the nearest one, other than Rentaz. But Rentaz is the closest, so that's where you would go. It's also, you know, the actual capital is situated in Rentaz, so guess where most of the army probably is. Okay, so this is just very basic stuff that I will need for the next session. If they even make it to Dregton in one session, it takes a while to travel in the plains, or in anywhere really, because I'm doing encounter rolls daily. I think we missed doing something specific. Let me see here. So these are my custom rules and notes for Nevre. Establishing locations. Travel, travel, travel. Must be further down. Load, please. I don't know why it's loading so slow. There it goes. Travel. Surveyor. This is something I added between session 1 and session 2. So I'm not 100% if I missed something on this or not. Keeps their eyes open near the end of the day for your role modifies encounters during night watches specifically. First, you could use survival. Second, you could use nature. Last option is stealth. And then I have survival reduces the number of creatures, so it makes it like if it was a hard encounter, it'd become a medium encounter. If it was a medium encounter, it'd become an easy encounter. If it would be an easy encounter, it's probably not an encounter. Or there's like maybe one creature and it realizes, you know, this is probably not a good idea. Assuming if it's intelligent or not. If it's not intelligent, it will just try to attack and get destroyed. Nature removes weather effects during the night. Stealth reduces the chance / difficulty of encounter. Okay, so reduce the number of creatures in effect reduces the difficulty of an encounter, but apparently stealth legitimately reduces the difficulty from easy to none, from medium to easy, and from hard to medium, and Aucon's run into hard. Okay. There's space under that, okay. Yeah. Let's see here, what do I need to change on my calendar? I don't think I need to change anything on my calendar. No, I do. I definitely do. The alchemist's son is brainwashed by the goblins and returned and released to gather information for them from Rentaz. Not Bentaz. Rentaz. Why did I hit B? That's not even in the same spot. Alchemist's son, brainwashed by goblins and released to scout. Rentaz. There we go. The fill color of this is cyan. Okay, that, and then I need to do a whole bunch of bookkeeping because I have new characters. Same PCs, new characters. But same players, new characters. So I need to do some work on that. But that's all in my notebook. I need to write down things there. And also, this screen will be changing, because these are not the characters anymore. Oh, I already got rid of Timo's character picture, I guess. Can't reuse any of these, really. There's a reason this one will be sticking around. It's supposed to be a surprise to everyone except one person, other than me, so the image will stick around on my hard drive, but the character, sadly, is not this anymore. So yeah, that was prep for session 3. Hopefully it goes better than session 2. Fingers crossed. I may also slightly lower the difficulty. Actually, I don't have to. The wizard's level 2, so their CR is slightly above 1 now anyways. So I'll probably lower it, just not as much as I would have if that wasn't the case. But thanks for watching.